Greetings and welcome, my friends. My name is Mr. Waddy, and I'm teaching Algebra 2 this year, twice to both Block 2 and Block 4. And so I'm putting this video together for you because I'm not here right now, am I? No, I'm on parental leave. My wife had our fifth kid, a daughter, and so things are going great for us here at the Waddy house. And so I'm going to miss the first 2.5 weeks of school or so, but I wanted to still welcome you and walk you through some of the resources and get you, familiar with what we're going to be doing this year. And hopefully, I'll, be able to make it a pretty smooth transition for you. Obviously, it's not ideal that I'd be gone right at the beginning of the school year, but we'll do okay. Don't you worry. And hopefully, this school year will be as normal of a school year as it possibly can be. But we will be flexible, whatever it throws at us. And so here, I'm going to open up. Here we go. I'm in a Google Classroom, and many of you have already logged in. I'm looking at Block 2s here, so if you're in Block 4, you'll be in your respective Google Classroom. And I've posted a few course materials under classwork today, and chances are there's already some other things there for you to see. But I'm going to go over just how some of this stuff works, and we'll figure this out. And so the first thing I've got for us here is the syllabus. It's got my email and phone number. Block 2, we're meeting in room 283. And Block 4, you're hopefully already in room 291. And that'll be the plan for the duration. Although, actually, that's worth pointing out. Let me just add that right now. Ace Block. Ace Block is in room 284. I'm on view mode, so whatever. I'll edit it later. But room 284 is where Ace will be held. But nonetheless, let's keep moving. And so as far as the syllabus goes, I've got a whole bunch of links to important stuff right at the top. We'll be looking at the curriculum calendar in a moment, and you'll see how that works. Yep. Good stuff. Google Classroom. Ignore these for now. You'll have your own relevant one on your Google Classroom links, right? But here we go. So as far as the course, Algebra 2, we're going to be learning a whole bunch more mathematical language that helps us understand and make sense of the world around us and be able to kind of make optimal decisions, things like that. And so some of the content that we hope to make it through today, you'll see, is from both an Algebra 1 and an Algebra 2 textbook. And so we're taking some of the best stuff of each of these. So anywhere you see A1, that's referring to your Algebra 1 book, and anywhere you see A2, that's Algebra 2 text. And so we're going to be talking about polynomials and graphing quadratics, also known as parabolas, systems of equations you've already seen some of, hopefully, in Algebra 1, rationals, function composition, exponential and logarithmic, possibly, and maybe even probability. But like I said, we're going to be flexible this year, see how we do. And actually, that's one thing I want to point out is that you perhaps have taken Algebra 1 in any number of experiences with different teachers and pre-COVID, mid-COVID, late COVID, whatever, that your Algebra 1 experience could have been drastically different from your peers. And so I realized we might all be in quite different places. And so hopefully Ace Block and other resources will be sufficient in order to, meet you where you're at. And that's an okay thing, right, for us to deal with. That's to be expected. And so I'm going to be as helpful and flexible as I possibly can. That's what we're going to try to do. We've got some critical indicators, as well. And so you've taken other classes here likely at VUHS. So not only do you need to numerically pass the class 60% or higher, hopefully better than that, by the way, because there's also a prerequisite to get into pre-calculus, which I would highly recommend. But yeah, so we've got 5 critical indicators is the plan. and they are met in different locations in our textbook. And so I have those indicated here, and yeah, you get the idea. Transferable skills, 2 textbooks, right? Come to class prepared, right? Writing utensil, notes. I'm going to, as much as possible, have printed out for you, and in fact, I've already got the first couple weeks printed. Although, who knows? I might swap things around a little bit and maybe, swap out some other things. So as I said, yeah, you need a 75% or higher in this course in order to enter. And geometry in order to enter pre-calculus. So pay attention to that. But yeah, come to class with writing utensils, scientific calculator, something like that. All right, what is going on with these equations already? Your semester grade is 45% quarter one, 45% quarter two, and then 10% is your final exam. And as far as individual quarters, how are they calculated? The Q sub x that I've got here, it's just a total points system. And so you take the points you earned and divide by the total possible points, and that will be your grade. And so no matter what category it's in, a point is a point is a point. And so getting 5 points on a homework quest versus 5 points on a test question, maybe it's a larger question on a test, 5 points is 5 points wherever you find it. And so the plan is that this year we'll do paper written tests and retakes and things like that. But who knows? Who knows? That's what we'll aim for. We might occasionally have mini quizzes, and I do those typically after we go over the homework together, and it would definitely not be too frequent, but maybe 1 or 2 a week. I think they can be helpful just as a quick check-in, and so those are worth points as well. And then homework. Some of this language I'll have to adjust. But I'm planning on, at this point, giving credit for homework. And if we happen to go to a more remote type experience, that would end up becoming a more significant portion of your grade. So you should hold on to all your completed materials. Don't throw it away because it's an excellent study tool for you. And it's going to be able to be a resource to continue to learn from. And within the notes packets that I have, we don't, by the way, do everything in those. So please don't freak out. But there's additional practice problems in there that say during an ACE block, if we're hanging out with some other algebra buddies, we could be doing some of those problems as well if you needed additional practice on that. Come to class on time. Don't wander the halls. You'll probably be signed up for ACE, and I'd love to be able to work with you. Cell phones are a no-go, so don't do that. Sign out sheet, there'll be one near the door. I hope. I'll have to possibly set that up after the fact. And let's just be respectful of one another and one another's right to an education. I understand you might not always be the most excited about Algebra 2, but I want to try to connect it to you as best as I can. And at the very least, right, I got to make sure that we have an environment in which students can learn, right? That's what I'm here to do, is to teach you. And test retakes, if we're having the paper test sort of thing, we do have the retake policy. And so you'll be able to 10 school days to be able to access a retake, sign up for one within 2 days. Man, we're going back to school. This is it. This is real now. Wow, that's feeling pretty real to me. So that's the plan. Now, let me jump back up here as far as some of these links. And the curriculum calendar is a pretty helpful resource. Your teachers were generating something like this, last year. And so it's probably a somewhat familiar format. And in this case, it's actually a dynamically updating spreadsheet. And so what happens is every week, Sunday at midnight or whatever, a fresh week agenda will show up automatically. The system just does it. And in this case, uh, by the time you're watching this, it's probably day 3 of the 87 days we'll have together. And if you're block 2, it's sometime between 10:20 a.m. and 11:35 a.m. Block 4, yours will say something slightly different. And it'll the interior here is the guts of what we try to do in our rough agenda. Although we won't always do everything. And then we'll have homework assignments listed down here and things like that. And so this is the current week, and like I said, it will auto update. But if I scroll down a little further, it'll show the previous week, the last week, of which you weren't in school last week, and that's why there's nothing there. Hopefully you were enjoying your summer. But if you scroll down even further than that, it'll show the plan for the entire semester and it's tentative, obviously. But yeah, if I keep scrolling down, I can see, Monday we've got off for Labor Day. But yeah, we're going to try to do some more stuff and just keep going. And so if I keep scrolling down, right, I can even see Monday, September 13th, things like that. And I want to point out, like here, the objective, you'll start seeing some hyperlinks show up. This is actually the lesson. And this link, you could jump out to the lesson video and see my past self teaching some of these very lessons. And so you can actually fast forward to particular problems if you wanted to hear a refresher on. And unfortunately, for at least the beginning of the semester, my past self and other resources will be the primary way you're going to be learning Algebra 2 until I show up, which, by the way, would be when? Should be Monday the 20th. Okay, and so hopefully I'm back and in person, probably wearing my tie on Monday the 20th, and then we'll have a more typical class experience. But as far as this agenda, and learning board, the lessons are always at the top, some of the different activities in the middle, and then some of the assignments down at the bottom. And you can even find links to the notes right here. And so just so you're aware, like here's a sample of what the notes might look like, which I've already printed out. And my naming convention, I realize, is a little bit crazy, but Algebra 2 is the class we're in. This lesson is from the Algebra 1 textbook, Chapter 6, Section 1, and then the name. And so, so there I've copy and pasted and screenshotted and cut things and created space where you can do your work and follow along. And in the lesson videos, that's where, those notes will be. And then if you go down far enough in these, actually, here's an example. 296, this would have been, say, a homework assignment. And that will correspond to the online, which we'll see in just a minute. But yeah, so I'm going to have this all printed for you, and you can access that as well digitally, the little notes files right there. And as far as the homework assignment, I also have videos that link out to me doing some of those very same homework problems. And so in this case, 393 corresponded to the physical textbooks page that the assignment was on, even though I'm probably not going to give you a physical textbook. But if you really want one, I have lots of them. Lots of them. But page 393, and in this case, I don't do all of the problems in my homework videos, but you can see that I happen to do 5, 9, 29, 34, 36. And so you could actually even scrub through and jump to a particular problem and hear my explanation and watch me right on the screen and do it out for you. And so that is available to you as a resource. And in this case, like I said, unfortunately, it's going to kind of be the primary while I am away. And so we've got the whole class roughly planned out, but as things go a little bit further, I've got more and more gaps. I at least know kind of roughly what we're planning on doing for some of those days. Ooh, winter break. There you go. And then we eventually have the class end. And you'll have been learning Algebra 2, and you'll be a master, proficient even, right? And so so that'll be the plan. And so this is the agenda learning board. Lots of stuff there. Links out to all sorts of things, and that's available to you. And so there you go. Uh, I will show you this. I will show you this. If down on the bottom here, oh, you can't see it on your screen. Can I do this? Can I do this? Aha, there it is. No, it was. There it is. Down at the bottom is the details tab. And it has the same information presented in a slightly different way where it's just like this continual scrolling of all of the things. But this might be helpful to you because maybe you'd be interested in scrolling to the right and seeing like some of the additional resources that I might have cross-referenced. But yeah, you don't need to worry about that. It's most of the time the information you're looking for is going to be, right there, right there. So we've seen the videos, we've seen the learning board, we've seen the syllabus. As far as where your assignments are done, obviously I've provided paper for you, and math, it's a written language in which you're going to have to be able to communicate your thinking. But I do have a digital place where we can do our work at bigideasmath.com. And this is where you'll do your assignments online. And what's nice about this is it gives you multiple attempts per problem. And when you enter your answer that you've made your paper attempt on, it'll tell you whether or not you're right or wrong. And it will grade it for accuracy, and I can import those scores and as a result give you credit for it on the basis of correctness. And then I also have data that I can determine what problems I should go over with you the next day. And so if you go to bigideasmath.com, actually you could do this right now. Maybe you'll need to pause the video, but yeah, take out your Chromebooks and open up bigideasmath.com. Maybe you already know your username and password. That would be cool because some of you maybe have taken math classes here before. Some of our teachers use this for Algebra 1 and geometry. And so you might be able to, maybe your Chromebook already remembers your username and password. Super helpful. But for the rest of us, we're going to go down to register. And if you click on that, it's going to say, hey, give me your access code. How about? And where do you find that? Well, if you're in block 2, I'm super serious. Block 2 only. I have it hidden behind my head in the video here. I would copy that access code and I would paste it in there. Okay. Block 4, your access code is on your own respective syllabus. And so please. So I hit next, and then you enter your name, come up with your own password, you confirm said password. Your student ID, they've actually gotten a little bit pickier about that lately. You can actually find it if you log into PowerSchool, and it's like right next to your name. It's like, I don't know, 5 to 8 digits. I don't know. But yeah, and so you'll be able to log in. Now, once you're logged in, nothing will show up for you yet. You'll see something that looks a little bit like this, okay? A little bit like this. Let me zoom in. So I'm here, I'm impersonating Bilbo Baggins. And this Bilbo Baggins already has some assignments given to them. When you log in, you won't see anything yet, okay? Because I can't, weirdly enough, I can't post an assignment unless I have a student to give it to. And so I made Bilbo Baggins here. But as far as what you have at your, what's available to you for resources, you can access the textbook this way if you want. It's more than what I print out for you and give you in class. And so there's more things there. It also is available in Spanish, and it can audibly read out loud to you if you click on things. And so there's some resources there. You could poke around here. Most of the time, though, you're just going to be jumping right into the assignments tab. And this is where our assignments will show up. Now we're going to have to be careful because we, once again, have two books that we're using. And you'll see one assignment here is Algebra 1, Common Core, page 23, something, something, something. And the other one is Algebra 2, another page, page 80, and et cetera, et cetera. But I just want you to see that you could have assignments pulling from two different books, and I'll try to be posting them in a chronologically meaningful order. But you can also jump between your books if you click up here. You can jump between those. Now, I believe, at least in the past, if you clicked on Algebra 1, it would show only the assignments from the Algebra 1 text. And if you clicked on Algebra 2, it would show only those assignments. At this moment, it's showing me both of them. But be forewarned, who knows what it will do when you try. And so if you wanted to, say, do one of these assignments, you would click on the Enter little pencil here. Sometimes it takes a while to load. Not as long as the geometry book, though, because geometry's got way more pictures. Yeah, there it is. And then you hit Start, and then it's got like some of the questions, and you can bounce through these things, right? You can type in things. You've got access to a calculator. A little scientific calculator window will pop up. You also can click on the graphing calculator, which this is actually just straight up Desmos. Big fan of Desmos. All right, you can enter equations and things. Lovely, lovely. And eventually you write an answer and you check that answer and oh, didn't like it. But it gives me another chance. Also, when I got it wrong, you might notice it says, hey, need help? Oh, you can't see that. My head is hiding it. Here we go. Here we go. There? Yeah? There we go. So yeah. So you've got calculator, graphing calculator, need help shows up after you hit check answer. And it would be like, hey, you could watch a video of a problem like this. Here's, where it is in the digital textbook, things like that. And eventually, right, you would hopefully get the answer correct, and I don't know what the answer is to this problem. And then you'd move on. And so you can access your problems one at a time with the little arrow keys here. Here, I'll bring myself back. Here I am. With the little arrows on the side. You can also click on, some people call this a waffle button. I don't know. And you can see which problems you've already answered. And you could jump to later ones. Okay, and so that's how you can just navigate a bunch of these things. Pay attention, though. Scroll down. Sometimes problems are hiding multiple parts, like a little bit later on. And then, when you're ready, you could actually save your work by clicking on your name. You could save and exit, but chances are you're just going to be hitting submit, like when you're done. And when you hit submit, that's when I get access to all of the data, and I can see how you're doing and who needs help and what's the most frequently wrong question that we can then go over as a class. And actually, speaking about being wrong, it's actually a really good thing to be willing to be wrong in a community of peers in which we respect one another. We're willing to make a mistake. We're willing to learn from that mistake, and even willing to learn from the mistakes of others. And so when questions are asked in math class, and one of us did something wrong, like that's actually a benefit to all of us as a community, and we're going to be making mistakes. It's actually a great way to learn, and you can find great clarity about these concepts when you make a mistake and ask a question and like, oh, okay, I understand why, or this didn't work, or how this does work. And even if you were a student that got the problem right the first time, you may understand new facets and angles of the concept as a result of the conversation when someone did it wrong. And actually, this particular question is about a student who made a mistake, and you're trying to figure out where that mistake was. And so, like, actually looking at that, it's a really good way to learn how to do these things. But yeah, so you'd hit submit when you're all done. Actually, yeah, what does that look like? It's like, you want to submit? Sure. And then it'll give you a score. Sometimes it might just grade you wrong on a problem, and I can still fix that after the fact. But here we go. Oh, I gotta keep going here. Keep going. All right, this video is going long. Fortunately, the baby hasn't been crying in the background, but you may be hearing my bird Walter right over there. There you go. Walter. Waddy. Walter. Uh, and so yeah, that assignment now disappears. You can't re-enter it. But if you were like, oh no, I submitted the assignment and I, didn't finish the problems, I can actually bounce it back to you. Or if I see like you submitted it and you left half the problems blank, I might be like, yeah, that's not done. I'm gonna send that right back at you. And so that's a thing as well. And so let's see. We've covered a lot today. We've covered a lot. Do 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 do. So I will also be posting probably today some activity from Desmos. Big fan of Desmos here. Big fan. I gotta buy the Desmos socks. I've gotta buy them at some point. But yeah. So we'll have our classes on like some assignments that show up on Desmos as well. They're like these little opportunities to discover and learn all sorts of things. But I'm liking me some Desmos. Transformation golf is incredible. We'll be doing marble slides, parabolas this year. Oh man, this stuff's gonna be insane. Actually, I'll have my own custom one. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Whoop whoop whoop. Bing 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 bing. There we are. There we are. But yeah, so Desmos will be a place in which we do things. And so when you jump into Desmos, let's see what happens if I sign out. I signed out at Teacher Desmos. Let me go to student.desmos.com. Boom. This is where you'd go. You would just sign in with your school email account. And chances are, actually, if you've taken a math class almost anywhere in the United States and beyond, you probably have logged into Desmos at some point. And so, yeah. So you'll just sign in with Google, and you'll already, if you logged into the Google Classroom, it has already imported your name into our Desmos class, in which I can post different activities for us to learn how math works and discover these ideas. And so hopefully throughout the semester, we'll be doing stuff digitally. We'll be doing stuff in person, please. We'll have some activities around the room and on paper with partners, and hopefully it's somewhat closer to a normal school year. But either way, I'm here for you. I'm on your side, right? Team Algebra 2, we're going to do this together, and I'll help you get there. All right? I will help you get there. It's going to be okay. And so I look forward very much to meeting you all in person. You could still probably email me with questions here and there, but I'm going to be busy caring for my family. Not only do we have a baby, but I've also got 4 boys and that baby girl. And I've been jackhammering my basement and trying to fix my house. So, but either way, I look forward to seeing you in person. You all have a wonderful day, and I'm sure there's more to the Google Classroom in today's agenda for you to continue with. So please, take care. Take care.